Welcome back to the Not In My Lifetime channel. A week or so later, obviously. Sorry about the lack of uploads, but it's been a little bit of a busy week for both me and Bevo. Or stuff going on, and also the game on Saturday. Apart from that, wasn't much news going on, but there's quite a little bit today. Obviously, and the game as well. We'll do a review of as well on Saturday. It was obviously a good result for us, which was good. But I think for me, before we get into that game, I think it's worth obviously. Before I start waffling on as I always do, Bevo, mate, how you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Finally got a fairly convincing win under our belts. Yeah, feeling all right.
Yeah, not exactly. Well, I mean, we'll get into the game later on. We'll actually do a proper dissection of the game rather than just pretending everything was okay because we know it wasn't properly okay that game. But we'll get into it. Florian Wirtz today. You know that now. I know it's not. Here we go. We're not bigging up and saying, "Oh my god, it's happening." The news today was interesting because when I saw what was said, it to me told me that all right, this is actually further along what it's going to be. Now I know it's not saying that Bayern are out. It's not, but the fact that City are going this hard into it already in April, and the fact that I think it's not a new deal yet.
It's also the talk for me. It's almost the talk for me is where the word which sort of shows a sense of urgency for me is that they're looking to put that bid down immediately. It's not a case of City are contemplating putting this bid down, and we're thinking about it. We are ready to put this bid down immediately. Like, this is the offer. We're putting this down now.
Yeah.
Basically, take it or leave it because we need to know. And then if not, we can go and approach our other signings. The big question for me is whether Wirtz is going to listen to his dad, because his dad's almost 100% on you need to be going to Bayern.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's a football heritage thing, whether it's the fact that his dad's grown up supporting Bayern Munich, and he wants to see his son go to his boyhood club. But the thing which strikes me is the fact that Wirtz still yet hasn't made a decision, and I think that's quite important in this, because if he's not yet made a decision, it still gives us, it means that he's thinking about us.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it will be, no, my mind's set on Bayern, that's it.
No, exactly. Now, obviously, the news was it Man City are ready to pay this 150 million euro asking price to Florian Wirtz and offer the player a 25 million euro per year salary. Pep Guardiola explained to Wirtz how to fit in the City system and replace Kevin De Bruyne. Florian Wirtz's father proposes salary to Bayern. I think for me, look, ignore the Wirtz father bit. We knew that anyway. That's not exactly news, is it? That his dad prefers him to go to Bayern. This German father wants his son to go to the best German team. Makes sense. For me, it's the City bit that definitely interests me, because it's the fact that City are ready to pay the money right bloody now. The salary's there, ready to go. That is, for me, a great sign that the club actually showing their hand already. The thing is, we need to know what he's going to say. If he's going to say, I want to go Bayern, cool, move on. We're not wasting around here anymore. Yeah. I'm not wasting my time on months like Bellingham. But he's going to Madrid now. I was being told, he said yes to the City, for other people in education. I want to know ASAP from him. Where are you going? Are you staying at Leverkusen for another year, signing a new deal? Are you going to... Are you going right now?
I think City have put a deadline on it, the end of May. Right, Poppy?
Yeah. Yeah, a big up, Poppy.
I
Yeah,
think City put a deadline at the end of May.
which for me,
If they haven't heard by the end of May, then we're moving on.
by the way, perfect, because that for me, don't mess around there. We don't got time to mess around, because if we mess around, we're putting off others. Now, yes, attacking midfield is what we need right now, but I'm not mucking around there on our transfer saga. We can't do that anymore. We got to get what the honor is right now. Get in there, offer your hand. If they say no, at least you tried. You tried, you've gone for it.
Yeah.
Not asking City, right, to go in there and just get the player no matter what. Like, look, obviously, we'd love that too, but we know how football works, don't we, mate? We know it's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as getting whatever you want. It's down to what he wants at the end of the day. But we need to know that ASAP rather than be chased around. So again, it's good news, but I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, it's Gideon now. Look, obviously, I put it in the title because for me, it's well worth discussing it. But it's being more realistic at the fact that at the moment it's still nothing confirmed yet. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're doing good, mate. We're doing good so far. Doing good on tonight. Obviously, games tonight have been a bit. Well, it's 0-0 in Madrid Arsenal still right now, isn't it? It's 0-0 in Madrid Arsenal game still, I think.
Yeah, 0-0.
Into Bayern 0-0.
Real Madrid are pants, mate. They are so bad.
Arsenal deserve to go through. For being real, mate. And I know we don't.
You will never get praise from me.
I know. If I'm basing it off this tie, I have to say it as it is. I've got to. I can't do it. I've got to say it. Big up Mateus, bro.
Real Madrid deserve it.
Big up Mateus, man. I'll be doing well, man. Good evening, mate. I'll be doing good. I saw you on Alf Shopping Channel yesterday. I think previewing the Everton game. I'll be doing well, my friend. So Newcastle beating Palace 4-0, which, to be honest with you, mate, Palace, mate, oh my God, they're terrible. I know you don't, Paul. I know you don't, but I'm just here to support. But yeah. I think for me with Rumours right now, I'm just a little bit, I'm kind of just enjoying seeing it, but I'm not exactly going crazy over it right now. I'm just listening to taking on body information, then going moving on my life. Because until I get a Jack Gorn Man City agree a deal with Wirtz, then I'm going to get excited. But until then, I'm waiting until I get official news. That's where I'm at with it now. But I thought it's well worth discussing. It's positive news. Obviously, you mentioned me earlier on today about it, so I thought it'd be worth discussing it on stream before we move on to the game. Yeah. But before we move on to the game, actually, I think it's probably worth having a discussion. And I'll probably get it on stream in a bit as well about I think more protests from 1894 and the groups, because I think I would do about the Leicester one, and it was successful. But get the frozen, which is very good. But we also need to talk about this as well. Big up Adam, by the way. Hope you're doing well, mate. We'll get the City extra tweet up right now. Bear with me, people. Make sure if you haven't already, lads, leave like everyone on stream and subscribe if you haven't already. You're on the road to 1.1k towards 2k in the long run. I'm on Twitter. We're being really slow today. But yeah, honestly, mate, in terms of this Madrid game, by the way, Madrid are terrible, aren't they? Absolutely bloody terrible.
When you think that they've got a forward line of Vinny Jr., Mbappe, and Rodrigo, you think that they'd be able to score against them, at least.
All that about, the chakras are in place. Mate, no one cares, mate. This team is terrible. We're not.
The thing is, you look at PSG, right? When Mbappe was at PSG looked bang average with a semi-decent player up front.
Yeah.
Now PSG look miles better without him, and Real Madrid look worse since they've got him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on Twitter trying to get the load. If not, I have to read it out because I don't know. I think because I'm on stream, it's taking the internet absolutely ages to learn anything. Come on. Right, here we go. Right, it's working now. Okay, that's fine. Right, yeah, cool. Right, I'll share screen and I'll have a list. All right, I'll just quickly just present, share screen, window, City Extra, share. Let's make sure it works okay. It's not doing. I don't know what to do today. I think I need to get it sorted out. Right, I'll read it out over here. I'm sure people can get the extra up and look at it anyway. I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way because I don't know if let me do it today. It's bloody technology at times. Right, we'll go into it. So, an update from the 1890s. So, Man City supporter groups have bounced for a demonstration at 7 p.m. before Aston Villa at home and a concourse protest during Wolves at home. The statement confirms that both actions can rescinded in the event Man City announced new full season cards as opposed to flexi season tickets. So bring back the season tickets, which what it should be, by the way, what it should be. By the way, this flexi gold bollocks, which is just overpriced nonsense. The planned concourse protest before the Wolves game would last 6 minutes, marking 6 years without a new season cards at the club, which I think is a pretty good way of doing it. So this is a full statement from the 1894, the Food Bank, and the Trade Union Blues. Now, I do follow all of them anyway. It's not long. I'll brush through it anyway. So, update on the issues at City. So, dear Blues, a number of issues remain unsolved regarding tickets. I think updates on these could and should be given clearly at the time of the price freeze announcement. We think the motivation for this may be an attempt to avert further fan protests, which was so unsuccessful, which was so successful at the Leicester game. That I agree with, because the Leicester game made a real, I think, impact. Because you saw the start of the game, how quiet it was, and the South Stand the way it was.
Yeah, it was quiet on the pitch, but they probably made more revenue that day because everyone was in the concourse sipping beer.
Which I think we need to think
City made more money, so it's like, yeah, crack on.
But the thing is, right? I think they need to up levels of Newcastle 5 personnel, by the way. Newcastle getting top 5, by the way. That's the top 3. Getting top 3. Newcastle cooking right now. Carrying on. Up to 10,000 Blues took part, and the impact of those scenes made the club think again. Fans who did take their seats also remained silent. Collective action worked. Yes, it did. And again, I'm happy. I'm happy with making some sort of action, but you need to kind of like take it further by not actually buying anything from the club either. Do another thing. Again, I'm all for the protest. I'll be doing it as well. But buying this stuff also gives the club money. It's basically you need to
ramp it up. You need to ramp it up. This I was saying a few weeks ago before the Leicester one. You know, it's all well and good going, oh, you know, we're not going to go to our seats for 9 minutes, and the people that are going to go at their seats, you know, they're going to be quiet for 9 minutes. It's like you're not really being a nuisance to the club, like to the point where they have to they're forced into maybe rethinking things. Like if you're standing in the concourse going and buying beer, or drinks or whatever, you're effectively giving the club more match day revenue. So you're not actually doing anything. You're not actually being a nuisance. You're actually being helpful. So what you need to be doing is you need to be ramping it up. And when I mean ramping it up, you need to have a good couple of thousand fans stood outside the gate where the bus is supposed to come through. Need to be blocking off the gate so the bus can't get in. That, you know, standing in front of the entrances to the training ground, you know, blocking the entrances for the cars coming in and out. That's what you call being a nuisance. That's what will force the club into rethinking, not going and standing in the concourse and spending more of your hard-earned money on beer. Like that ain't gonna do nothing. No. But again, that's my opinion. People might say, "Oh, you know, it worked really well." I don't think it did.
Okay. We don't know. we know that Pep is on our side, and we want him to know that we are on his side, especially during the run-in. However, the City Matters meeting on the 1st of May represents the last realistic opportunity for the club to update elected fans with unresolved ticketing issues. Obviously, the 1st of May is next meeting, so that's next Thursday. After next, so
About 2 weeks.
time.
About 2
Yeah.
weeks.
So, with this in mind, Aston Villa at home next Tuesday. We have supporters who care about ticketing issues, notably the availability of full season cards, to meet at the statue's Colin Bell stand at 7 p.m. for a peaceful protest. Right. This is the thing, right? That's it. I'm sorry, right? But the match tickets for that game are 71 quid minimum. Peaceful protest doesn't do any. I know it did something, I suppose, if we're calling it a protest in the Leicester game. But the fact is, the club was still going to offer.
The thing is, though, you call it a successful protest, but in what way was it successful? What has changed? What have the club changed off the back of that protest?
Well, because remember,
Nothing.
right? Sorry, but basically, right?
They've thrown season ticket prices. They've thrown season ticket prices, but that's not even what they were protesting to begin with.
They were going to offer an increase initially to season ticket for the freeze. So again, while the club still thinking of doing an increase, still the protest was successful. Again, I'm against it. I'm all for the protest. Got fairly about both sides here. If they're going to be serious about making changes at the club, got to be real here. Because bear in mind, City, I think for me, were the ones that won that, not necessarily the protest. Which again, the protest can still work if you do it correctly. Not causing violence, of course not. No, never going to do anything. Don't be an idiot. But the very least you can do is but the very least you can do make a real impact in different ways. Now look, peaceful protest, will that do anything? For me, no. For a game of 71 quid minimum ticket for Villa on a Tuesday night, by the way. Tuesday night, midweek. £71 ticket in a run-in for top 4. Are you joking me?
It's time for bed.
Well, if Steve was here, he'd be commenting on that. So he's not here today to come on.
Yeah, where is Steve? Where is he?
Yeah, I know. I know he's obviously been through quite a bit, bless him. So I hope he's okay. But obviously, whoever he is, we wish him all the best.
If you're watching this back, mate, or you join at some point, we hope you're all right. You're in good health, etc.
Wish you all the best, mate. Right. Home. So bear in mind that's Friday. So that's in 2 weeks' time on the Friday 2nd. We are now also inviting supporters to repeat their concourse action. This time to stay away from the seats for the first 6 minutes. This is to highlight the fact we are now 6 years without a proper release of new traditional season tickets. A repeat Leicester action would highlight this is important in a way the club cannot ignore. If you take your seat, we again ask that supporters remain silent for the first 6 minutes to highlight football that fans is nothing. Well, then again, right, I'm going to say it as it is. 6 minutes, right. I understand the sentiment behind it. I agree behind it. The problem is, it's not going to do a lot.
It's going to do nothing. It's literally going to do nothing.
Oh, there he is.
Hey! Here he is.
Good, my friend. We're just having a chat about the action, obviously, for Villa and Wolves. Obviously, I'm just going into it right now. Obviously, I'm seeing it, mate. Obviously, about the A94 have announced today about it. So I'm just going to go through the letter they put out. Rumours apparently are hosting up, which again
about you, Steve. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we just having a chat about it, mate. How you doing? Well,
talk about the devil, and then he'll appear,
Yeah, but no, I just look. The sentiment behind both things, I understand it, but the thing is, it's not going to do anything. The peaceful protest, the more you carry on peacefully protesting, You don't do a lot of changes really in the run. Because look, in the event of both a positive news from the club on season card availability, then either or both protests can be cancelled beforehand. If not, we recommend that supporters make the things clear. With actually, it's more positive, mate. More positive. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you can go and watch it back if you want, but we were actually trying to be nice. We were wishing you good health, and we were actually missing you. But now, if you're going to say that, you can go.
Yeah, but so carrying on. So I'm just going to. This is the last part. Let them obviously discuss a bit more open in the chat as well. We have written to Chair City Matters with the following feedback received from 1894 surveys and canvassing. So this is the point: season card availability. Any non-new ticket should be reissued to the fans. In addition to as we send more season tickets to the thousands we've lost over the last 6 years. We now have a few season ticket holders, and we did it in 2019. That I'm all for more tickets, because honestly, mate, personally for me, I'll get one myself.
But I get it, and I really agree with the points that they're. I really agree with the points that they're trying to argue. But you really think that shutting up for 6 minutes and not singing is really going to change any of those points?
Like, it's a great point, but I like it. I'm all for it. I want more season cards. I mean, I'd love to get a season card myself and be able to go.
No, they're fighting for the right things. I just don't think that the ideas for the protests that they're actually doing are very good. Like, if you want to be heard, you have to create a nuisance. And being silent for 6 minutes isn't creating a nuisance in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So carrying forward, Flex Gold. Drop the upfront charge for the Flexi Gold and offer existing Flexi Gold members the chance to upgrade to a full season ticket. Yes, agree on that one. That is a good one, because you won't get scanned off a bloody ticket, which is bollocks, by the way. You got to pay £150 charge just before you even get to get sales pay for games. It's ridiculous. You have to even do that. Protecting the existing arrangements for family and friends ticket transfer. Yes, because it would be nice if my mate can't go to a game, say, right, I know you're in Manchester, but providing
that they are a match day member.
Yeah. It's what I mean, Steve. Like, I think the thing is, right, we agree with the point made. Again, I am with the people. We're both with them, but we're also being critical of the way they're doing it, because I don't think it's quite what we should be going for. Again, I'm all for it. I'm all for protesting, because it should be protested again, because it's not acceptable what City are doing. But you kind of got up the ante from last time. Last time for me was fine for a first go. You can't go backwards now, doing the same for one game and then less minutes. It's not really the same thing. It's kind of going backwards. I'm not, mate. I'm just a random dickhead, mate, on YouTube just about City. I'm no mad at people, mate.
I'll agree with that one.
Carrying on. I'm just a guy who talks for a bed. Not like Goldbridge, like I do actually go to games like him. But yeah, I was trying to. But yeah, for me, you've got to. It's the way.
You're a bit like Goldbridge in a way.
Please don't say I'm not Gold. I'm not a police officer. I'm not bloody. I'm not bloody.
No,
like,
you are a bit, because he joined the club for the glory, didn't he? He was a Forest fan. You were a Southampton fan, weren't you?
Apparently, according to some people on YouTube. Yeah, sure, crack on that. Crack on. I know that. I was trying to put you. I know you fucking well. I appreciate it. Fuck's sake, man. Can't escape, can I? But we have to protect that arrangement, mate. Because at the end of the day, right? Let's say, right, someone like Alex, right, had a ticket for the game, but he couldn't go to it for whatever reason, right? And I went to it that weekend. I'd be able to get a ticket off him, because I'm actually part of his family situation, or his friend situation, or his ticket. So I'll be able to go up to the game, No, because that's how I got to FA Cup with him. I mean, obviously, because his dad couldn't go, I had to go to the semi-final with him, which was quite cool. It was lots of final, but it was good. So, but we have to protect that because that for me can't go away. It has to be allowed to continue and carry on. Now, here's one I do agree with, mate. Reduced match day prices. Fans still think they are priced too high. Hell yeah, they are. 71 quid for Villa. Are you joking me? Villa at home on Tuesday night. Disgust. The match day sales process. Stop putting a majority of tickets every game on sale at the start of the season, making it fairer for fans to plan ahead and buy tickets while keeping them out of tout hands. Yes. Because they do it every time, mate. Oh, here you go. Every home game's on sale. Go and buy them up. Why are we doing that? I don't understand why you do it.
I remember when City used to be a club for the community and for the working class. You know, they used to regularly when I had my season ticket, quite a while before I gave it up, when I was sort of teenager sort of years. They used to give European games away for £1 because they knew that people couldn't afford to go to games all the time, especially teenagers. So they used to put tickets up for £1.
Now, I agree, by the way. Steve, you're right.
Since then, you're not going to see that. And to be honest, I don't expect to see that. I think that's massively underpricing it. But you have to look at what's a realistic price and stick to it. I think, I'm not being funny, but the Premier League are regulating everything else. The government are regulating everything to do with football now. Why not regulate the prices that are being charged to fans as well? They're quite happy slapping bans on teams if they spend too much money. What about the fans that are spending too much money?
Yeah, exactly.
If you've got Nottingham Forest going and spending £100 million on a football player, it's like, oh, naughty, you shouldn't be doing that. But they're quite happy to charge every fan 50, 60 quid per game.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And Steve, you're right, by the way. It's, the thing is, looks good for PR. The City will know what to do here. Holding the price, make like, oh, we're doing the right thing here. And the wrong way. I will admit I fell for it initially. But then I realised, hold on, that's what they want. The holding price thing looks good. The problem is, and they're enough to do more protests to try and get back at it, but it's not enough. A bigger statement is needed by everyone. 6 minutes is not enough, by the way. 9 minutes was a good start, but you got to do more than that, and don't buy drinks or alcohol. You can't, if you can't not buy a drink, then obviously you've got an issue you need to get sorted out. But it's like you've got to actually go through things. You've actually got to make a stand. Like, maybe I bury stuff in the ground anyway. Most of the time I go and buy stuff outside before I go to the game. How much it costs and get the ground to get the shit of paper. Like,
the other thing is as well is do not be fooled. If the club turn around and say, oh, well, match day revenue, putting the prices up, it means that we can afford to bring in these players. Do not be fooled by that, because match day revenue makes up, I think it's something like 2 or 3%, if
Nothing.
that, of a club's yearly income.
Exactly. Agree. City with the family club. Exactly. This is the thing. That treble, mate, was the best and worst thing to happen to us. It was better because the best thing was because we won something incredible. The worst because it finally at the club be what they wanted to be in the first place. It's what they want, mate. They want it's there for the money. Look, at the end of the day, right? The Middle East want to win. When they win it, like I'm sure PSG will do as well at some point. PSG will do the exact same thing. Win Champions League, boom, in comes the money. It's gonna happen, mate. At some point. Only thing with it, Steve, and you're right, mate. I actually want to actually be relegated. This sounds crazy, but I think we need to get relegated to get the club back to where it should be, because it'll force the club's hand. Because they can't price it's where they are in League Two, can they? They can't.
Yeah.
This is kind of in a way where we actually need to be humbled a little bit here. Fan base and club here, everyone. Anyway, we actually make a proper change overall. Big up, Ryan Jack. How you doing, well, my friend? Big up, boys. Jet Butts, exactly, mate. Well, I know it sounds mad. We're going from tickets to go to Wirtz. That's football in a nutshell. Carry on, obviously, with transfers and that, but obviously, end up by going to play transfers at cinema. Big up, mate. Yeah, I hope you get Wirtz, mate. I hope we see in the summer. It'll be held to. Joe, what exactly? It'll be held a season or two. Then boom. That's probably right. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, mate, if they do this. They hold for a season or two, so they actually care, and then boom, massive increase later on. But going with market trends. It's just. Shut up, Dave. I'll drink it. Come on, man. Not that. I'm not that bad. Come on. Yeah, I think the thing is, mate, it's the ownership. People are trying to say, "Oh, but it's not Khaldoon." Look, Khaldoon. I'm sorry, right? Khaldoon is there, mate. Like everyone else is, mate. He would hang on. Why would Bevo? Why would Soriano hide something like this from Khaldoon? It was what's been talked about on social media. He'd know what's going on, Khaldoon. He would.
Oh, Khaldoon will know, yeah. Course he will.
Big up, Matt, man, mate. I'm doing well, my friend. Right. So carrying on, obviously, from this thing, the North Stand provides season ticket availability for proposed safe standing areas North Stand, so the atmosphere can develop. That I do agree with. That is because I think the North Stand, which how big it's going to be, the South Stand, the North Stand to be the big loud parts of the stadium, both ends.
Problem is though, is the atmosphere isn't going to develop. It's not about creating these areas and doing that. It's about the people that you put into those areas. So if you're putting corporate and tourist fans into those areas that don't know city songs, that aren't there to sing and are just there for the experience, you're not going to create an atmosphere.
No.
So it's all well and good building up this area to develop atmosphere. But if the people that are putting in those seats, it's like anything. You can go out and buy like a fantastic brand new Lamborghini, with all the bells and whistles on it. But if you put someone that can't drive into it, do you really think that you're going to get the most out of it? Not at all.
Yeah. McMahon, exactly.
Yeah.
We are. Sorry, Martin, if you watched this before your stream later on. It ain't wrong. We're becoming that in itself. Before them, the road I'm coming in it. We're becoming more and more Disneyland. Lamborghini. You wish you had Lamborghinis, mate, but in bloody North Wales, tell you. Right. Third. So there's another point on third-party ticket agencies. Curtail the use of ticket
I'll be
agencies.
honest, though, my neighbour actually does have a Lamborghini. He's got a grey one.
Oh, nice. To be fair, I love a Lamborghini. I do.
No, I'm doing all right. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing all right.
Yeah, not too badly. Almost there. A couple of years time. Yeah. So look at Mark Bevo with his vodka martini shaker.
No,
it's
lime cordial. I'm on the heavy stuff.
Yeah, the heavy stuff tonight, not the actual body. On the body stuff tonight. So obviously, curtail the use of ticket agency via go onto the club fan safety in the stadium. Now, yeah, that I agree with. The problem is there's nine ticket things, and the club don't give a shit. So this is why I've got to say you actually got to push yourself more here to do more on the protest. You're not wrong. You're really not wrong. Not right now, anyway. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
A lampanini.
Lampanini. A lampanini would be a weird flavour for panini. but the first, right, I'll be honest with you, right, the club aren't just going to get rid of the partnership overnight, by the way. You have to kind of ruin the PR of go for it to actually go that way. I'll tell you where you're going to do it, by the way, because you think the club are going to give a shit about this. Lamb chop if he carries on. Oh, you dangerously, man. The final point is commit to meaningful concession fares or competitions. So is that like food and prices?
Concessions like over 65.
Right. Okay. And
something that Spurs completely dropped their concession prices, and it went. There was mayhem over it.
Yeah. So, all right. I was gonna say, if you didn't have a season ticket, you would be having to pay ridiculous prices. For Villa, tickets start at £71 for an adult, £42 for a child, and for a family of 4, because tickets alone would be £226 up to £292. That's what that's all
for
of
a
us.
Tuesday night. For a Tuesday night,
mate. That's what surprised me on the PS5. PS5 or four of us going to watch Villa at home on Tuesday.
Yeah. Crazy.
Some things are worth fighting for. See what the statues, Colin Bell stand. Look, I am completely behind the lads. I'm completely behind them. But all I'm going to say is it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Anywhere. If you want to make meaningful change, you have to go for the pockets.
Yeah.
Yep. A community. Kids for a quid.
That's when I used to go.
Brilliant. Love that. Yeah. He is like he's leaning. But no, take Luke in a pushchair. It's free. I mean, how tall are you, Bevo?
How tall am I?
Yeah. How tall are you?
6'2".
I'm 6 foot. Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Right, that would work. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Then again, mate. But it's £30 for a toddler and £72 for you. It's about £100 for me to get in the body thing. Mate, on a serious note, mate, it's crazy. It is crazy how much it costs. And again, I'm all for this, man. All for the club. I'm all for a protest, mate, and doing it correctly. But the problem is, we know as well, mate, the club aren't going to bloody care about this. Look, you can say, oh, but it made a difference last. Did it really? Or did the club realise that it would be good PR for them to put the prices back or hold them for a year like West Ham and Liverpool are doing right now for their fans? to give like, oh, they're doing something right. Look, again, I fell for it myself. I'll admit it, but then I realised you've got to make more than this, and I don't think the club are just going to get all them points. You know what? You do what you did for 6 minutes. You protested and then go on the ground for the first 6 minutes. Just for that, everything there is going to be resolved. No, it won't. You've got to do more than this. Shut up. Shut up, Steve. Personally think they have that. Steve, right? Steve, that comment right there is accurate, mate. They have 9 minutes was, I think, for me, it sounded good, it looked good, but imagine that's like, mate, the first 45 minutes. Not just 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Speakers, Blue Moon, let's be on speakers. It's a way.
I'd rather have to be honest, I'd rather have a silent Etihad than basically a forced fake atmosphere.
You big hell in there, yeah, Martin, mate. Yeah, big hell in there. Out. Does, mate.
Get Jackie a megaphone. You'll be laughing.
Get Martin's taxi in there as well. On the pitch.
Martin's fake taxi.
Oh, ding dong. Yeah, exactly. Get the fucking ding dongs going, mate. Get the drums in there. Instead of calling them a wanker on a drum, I tell you, mate, I had PSG last night on the drums last night. It was actually a good atmosphere. PSG at Villa last night. But in this country, man, I said before, it's much of a lad mentality still. Oh, you're doing that, you're this, doing that, you're that. Like, just if you want to bring a drum, mate, into the atmosphere, do it. Who gives a shit? It called this, called that. Like, I actually think it's better atmosphere because it makes it a bit more of a rhythm. And you sing along a certain chant if there's a drum involved. It's what they do in Europe, mate. It works for them. So what we do it here?
Yeah.
He checks my sound effects. Oh, mate. Take your bagpipes in. Yeah, the bagpipe. Yeah. What, at this point, mate, why not? Just get the whole hog.
They probably get confiscated at the door, but if you go in with a Gillette razor, you're all right.
That's true. Yeah, if you've got a razor ready to go, bosh. But on a serious note, though, like, we actually need to like do more of an impact. Look, again, I know it's me you saying this from our homes, right? Not actually at the games, right? But the thing is, but even if that was with them, mate, you need to start doing things that's actually going to make a difference, not just saying to do a silent. Why, mate? Silent protest, right? Why don't you do right for 71 minutes, mate? For the £71 that it costs to get in the ground, I'm gonna sit in the concourse for 71 minutes.
Yeah.
How about that? I'll tell you, mate, that would make a difference. I'd rather not a shithole down there, mate. So take your own haggis. Oh, Jesus, great. Yeah. Well, take your own dish in there. I think I've seen sort of. But no, but this is what I mean. Though, like, you know, that for me would make even more of an impact, right? If you did a 71-minute protest, because the thing is, you're actually making it a significant. Because, mate, all that some protesters going to do, mate, is just people holding the thing up, chatting city. Look, it's a protest. Do what you want. But if you really want to make a proper message at the city, that would make a difference. 71 minutes of you sat on the concourse, not buying anything, mate, just sitting there doing nothing. That would really make a difference. I'm just saying, mate. 6 minutes doesn't do anything at all.
No.
We do, Steve. We do need more of them. That's what I mean, Matt. It's the thing is, right. Every time I go, right, I'm all about singing the songs, get involved in the atmosphere, and having a good time. That's what I'm doing when I'm going to Etihad, right. But the thing is, you always see people right, with their phones out. But me, right, my way of doing it is I go to the picture of the ground, picture of the ground before the game where I'm sat, picture of myself at the game, phone away, kick off there, whole game. After make a picture of a couple of mates. That's me. That's me done. Because at the end of the day, right, I'm there to watch the game. I'm there to record a corner kick of the player. Like I'm seeing it with my own eyes. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
This is, you know what I mean? And I just feel like for me, like the club just don't care. Just do not give a shit at all. And if the club's not giving a shit, you've actually got to target them at the one thing that they actually listen to, and that's the wallet.
Thing is, though, this isn't just a City problem. This is a problem with all clubs in the Premier League that are overpricing fans. This isn't just a City problem. This is a growing problem in the Premier League, and this is why I was saying the Premier League are quite comfortable with regulating the amount that clubs can spend. But what about regulating the amount that fans can spend? What about putting reasonable pricing on tickets?
Axe.
The clubs get absolutely penalised if they spend more than they earn. But if you want to be a loyal fan these days, you have to be spending more than you can earn as well.
Yeah.
So and I think the crazy thing is, right, and there's a lot of people that have been doing this for the price that it's costing for someone to go to a game in the Premier League. They're jumping on a flight to Italy or to Germany, and they're going and watching a Serie A or a Bundesliga game, getting a night away in a hotel for the same and flight back for the same price as travelling to a game in the Premier League. And they're getting a hotel away for it and flights. Only seems to be in the Premier League that and in England that they're overpricing fans massively.
Yeah.
And this isn't just a football problem. This is a complete UK-wide problem. But I'm not going to get into politics. But everything in the UK just absolutely stinks. Like people are getting paid. People are getting paid minimum wages, but the price of everything is higher here than it is in every other country.
Mate,
I'll let you into a little statistic, right?
Yeah.
So, Minneapolis over in America is the poorest state in the whole of America. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in that poorest state, they earn more than what the average Brit does. And that's in their poorest state. And they're still earning more than what the average Brit does today. This isn't just a football problem. This is a UK-wide problem.
It is. Yeah. Because I'll tell you what it is, mate. Like, you could get a flight to Prague right now for a very affordable price. Just both of us from I don't know where we go from. Let's say wherever. Spend a few nights in Prague, just get on the piss, have a good time, and we'd actually have a get back for all in about what, maybe 50 quid, maybe of our cost for a cheap price. or whatever it costs. I mean, I'm not saying that's an accurate amount, by the way, but that's my point of making. A great weekend away, just like 200 quid for me, less than that. It's crazy how much.
Macman's kind of right there.
It's
I mean,
part of the problem.
just salaries in general are salaries in general in the UK are undercut. They are a massive problem, but taxes are also a massive problem. So you get paid a wage at the end of every month, which you then get heavily taxed on. You then go and pay. You then get in your car, which you pay road tax on, and drive to a petrol station to put petrol, which you then get taxed on. While you're in there, you go and get a drink, which again is taxed on. Like and then you come back home, you sit down and watch the telly, which you then have to pay tax on, by the way, if you pay for a TV license. So just the whole country is just a mess. But I ain't getting into politics.
Yeah, no, we'll go into that. But as a whole, I'll be a stream for like 10 hours. Well, more than that, 100-hour stream talking about the state of the country. We'll still be here.
Hey, it'd be good for the viewing figures.
It would, but like, yeah, it'd be a bit depressing. The more hours we've got, it's just depressing talk about this country. Anyway, but yeah, but it's true. And Dr. Evil on his check, yeah, he does actually prefer a Bond villain. Better than a Bond villain. When the hotel's like, mate, bang on. That hotel, by the way, mate, is going to be a real hindrance for this club. That sounds mental, but it really is. Name another club, mate, that has a hotel.
I turned my head away for I turned my head away for literally 5 minutes, and it's 1-1.
Oh, I can't see it, mate. I can't see him getting 4 or 5 goals.
Well, no, they need 3 to but yeah, no way. It's 4-1.
All visitors coming in. Steve, you're right, by the way. Steve, you're right. All visitors coming in from they are. An American should have to pay over top prices to cover it, mate. Shouldn't. No one should. It's disgusting. It's a stupid thing. A minimum wage drop, but everything goes up. But exactly, Steve. Exactly. Everything goes up every bloody year. Yeah, wages don't go up to go with it. Like this is.
Bearing in mind, they don't. But bearing in mind, they're already high enough as it is. They don't need to go up.
Martin's taxis. Yeah, like every day, mate. But yeah, sorry, go on, mate. I'll just make a joke about the. Yeah, it's a problem, mate. That has been there. How long actually for now? I reckon this whole situation with wages and that and everything going up.
Oh, the thing is, wages will go up to a certain point, but wages, if you're on a salary, don't expect your wage to go up. The thing is, inflation's supposed to be 3% year on year, right? But the thing is, your salary doesn't go up 3% year on year. You're lucky if you get a salary that goes up 3% year on year. But the prices of everything are already extortionate. Like, before I've even bought food shopping and things like that, like over $1,000's gone out of my bank on the first day of being paid, and that's just on things that just need to be paid.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Nobody can afford to live, and
exactly.
Nobody can afford to live in this day and age, not comfortably anyway. But then City are expecting you to pay $250,000 to go and watch a match on a Tuesday night.
It's crazy.
Like, and they wonder why they can't fill the stadium. Ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly, Mac, man. Exactly. But like, mate, take down how much. It's mad how much they cost now. It's crazy how much they cost. Do you get one now? Like, it used to be like £10, mate, for pizza and something else. I was like 20 quid. maybe 25. It's crazy.
Hmm?
Big up, Ed. Have a good well, mate. Good
There
seeing the chat as always.
Nice to see you, mate.
It's not a Labour Conservative. No one else will get the system. Exactly. It's not a who gets in charge thing. It's a whole mentality and everything in the country problem. It is. And it needs to change. For it. How much lamb kebab? To be honest, mate. It depends where you go, mate. If I'm being real. But you can't get good prices. It looks like a corner way takeaway. But I mean, this day probably like 10 quid now, probably for a whole load of it. It is behind, but the thing is, right, in Europe, right? I mean, obviously, I'm not saying Europe's perfect, by the way. It isn't, but no one's anyway. No one's perfect anyway. But if you look at other countries compared to us, mate, how they price things, it's way better than and much fairer than here.
The UK is by far one of the worst in Europe. By far.
Yeah.
I think the UK is probably one of the most expensive countries in the world to go to. I think you could live more comfortably in places like Dubai, which is why you're seeing a lot of British citizens emigrating over to places like Dubai now. Because even those extortionate prices, you're still getting a better quality of life for your money.
Exactly. I've done enough to knock about, but enough to brilliant. I mean, with her lamb kebab. Thank you, man. But no, look, Joe.
They don't be dishing down kebabs.
No, they're good. Not the local tramp down kebabs, though. If I'm going to say. But no, look, it's been an issue for a while, and I think the problem is it's not going to change until proper change comes in place. But that's for a day. We'll go into that today because I haven't got time to go into that. But Joe, we'll move on to the actual game.
That's giving everyone a bit of a sneak peek to the new Chatterpod, which I'm going to chuck in right now. We've got a new podcast, me and Luke, which is going to be coming out probably later on in the month, maybe mid to end May, by the time everything's set up. Please do go and follow our account on X, chatter_pod. You can also get us on YouTube. Please go and subscribe. It really, really does help. And yeah, that's all we can say at the moment. But we have big plans. It's going to be way bigger than what people think this is going to be. This is going to be a game changer. It really is.
It'll be good. Yeah, we're looking forward to it as always. Chuckle Brothers, the Chuckle Brothers podcast. To me, to you, to me, to you. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, obviously, me growing up with it, obviously, it was kind of towards the end of them doing it, but I was still popular while I was growing up. Eventually, we'll definitely make it Apple Spotify at some point. By the way, it will be. I obviously work it out in time, but I think
the thing is, what people don't know is there is huge plans for Chatterpod and the Chatter branding. So that'll give people a little bit of an idea into sort of what we've got planned. But it's to get what we want done. It's going to take us a very, very long time. So you'll have to bear with us because it is just me and Luke doing it on our own. But yeah, expect big things because this will be a complete game changer like you've never seen before. You know, we are talking massive. Yeah.
Again, we'll give you obviously we'll give you some news. We've got some stuff to sort of say. But until then, we'll keep it obviously to ourselves, but obviously let you guys know within the next few months.
Definitely, Steve. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected.
Dr. Evil plan. Not that evil. Not that bad. Not going that far. How big is it? That's what she's right there. Oh, brilliant. Do you know what? But let's actually get into the proper, obviously, if you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already to this channel, chat pod as well. Usual plug statement done. Let's get into Palace at the weekend. Now, the first 21 minutes of that game, first half an hour of that game was probably was a disgrace defensively. Palace dominated us this half an hour. It could have been 3, could have been 4, it could have been a lot worse.
Easily been 4 or 5. Easily.
And we were lucky to get out. I mean, we were lucky not to be worse than that. And I know we won the game 5-2. We're not going to be negative, but what if? We're going to say what we saw. Then we'll celebrate the good bits in a little bit. But if you watch both goals, right, the way Palace carved us open so easily for both those goals has been an issue this season that's been there since Brentford. Brentford at home, even Ipswich, mate. Even when Modric scored that goal, it's been there for a while. This,
yeah,
and we got away with it because of individual performances. But this was terrible. And I thought it could be a 3-0 game. It's done. But obviously, we'll get into it in a little bit. But it has to be said though, we can't just sit here and just celebrate the old positive stuff straight away. We've got to talk about the stuff happened before that before we get into the positive stuff. We were, mate. We bloody were. It was Donis Kebab. It was that terrible. And look, Steve, obviously, you don't like us, mate. It's our words. It was a bad performance, wasn't it, mate?
It was too Eze for them to get through.
But insert video here of guy doing bum stuff. But you're gone. I'm ready for that. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And yeah, man, 5-0. Newcastle stuffed them 5-0 tonight. And Newcastle, by the way, look on the best team by far right now on form the league.
Yeah, they are the best team on form.
And before we carry on as well, big up to Eddie Howe, who's currently in hospital right now with pneumonia right now. All the best, obviously, and hopefully he gets better soon. It ain't nice having that.
Yeah.
So wish him and his family all the best. And obviously the players doing it for them. So they're obviously doing what they need to do.
Yeah. Wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Jokes from Steve now. What are you on about? Here's like Sunday morning. Yeah. The thing is, right, I think if Eze goal before it got in there was 3-0, it'd be a game done. There was no way that we're going back from 3-0 down at home. And I think for me, it should be a warning for us that we have to be on our game now for the season. We have to be. We can't be doing it every game. We can't be. We have to be on it.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, right, what Kevin De Bruyne. Brilliant. That was a Kevin De Bruyne prime performance I've ever seen it. I was genuinely and look, I know it's easy for us to be reactionary and say that players should stay based on one game, right? But the guy clearly is out of his pain part of this now. He's clearly in a much better and physical state than he's been beforehand. And today I saw the news apparently that he wanted to stay beyond the season as well. He wanted to be a long.
Yeah, I've heard that he was willing to drop his salary down to 150k a week.
This guy embodies the club, mate. He loves this club.
City have either cocked up massively here, or they have done a good thing. It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah. Now, this I probably agree with. I think the thing is, I think it's the emotion of it. And look, I love KDB. We all love KDB in the show anyway. We all do. It's a hard one because I wish we kind of knew what his trajectory would be, where he would be right now. Like, if we kind of knew where his career would go post this season, then we could decide, right, ain't gonna get much better than this. Let's let him go. But the problem is, we have no. I think in the wrong run, it was the right decision. But I think it's just that it hurts because obviously he's legend leaving the club. And I think we wish that he could retire at the club. That's a dream, isn't it? For him to retire from football, I see. But it's not that way, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a shame, but it's one of those things, you know. That
you look at it. You look at it realistically. None of our legends have retired at the club. Vinny Kompany went to Anderlecht to be a player manager. Fernandinho went back to Brazil to play. David Silva went to Real Sociedad to play. Aguero went to Barcelona to play. You know, none of our legends that have ever left the club have retired at the club. As much as we would love to see it, I don't think it's going to happen because there's always the MLS or there's always the Saudi League.
Yeah,
but I have seen. I'll just try and get it up now. I have seen that apparently a surprising club has. So City Report have put something out saying Kevin De Bruyne expected to extend his contract at Man City and has now clouded relationship with the club after they decided to not offer him a contract extension. So it's basically turned sour.
God's sake, City. This makes it worse, by the way. I'm sorry. The fans should be instantly increasing the protest, mate. You're being too nice there.
Fabrizio Romano 5 hours ago, MLS side Chicago Fire make approach to sign Kevin De Bruyne on a free deal. De Bruyne will assess all options in the next days, but Chicago Fire are showing strong interest with a specific project ready to attract KDB.
Yeah. Well, I think the way the club handled this is disgraceful. The very least thing they could have done was done it in a better way, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know.
Well, you could tell from his interview the other day. He had an interview the other day where he said that he didn't say it directly, and I can't remember what he said word for word, but he was basically shocked that City had decided not to extend his contract, and that he basically said, "Well, I'm just going to go and assess my options and see what's next for me."
Yeah, and if he decides to, like, you know, look, if you look at the end of the day, right, wherever he goes, but I don't think he'll go to another Premier team. No, I think he will. I think I think he had too much respect for the club himself to do that, and the fans too much to do that. But that is true, Steve. It will be. This is what I'm worried about as well. If he goes to America or Saudi, we don't really care. But this is the thing.
I can't see him staying in the Premier League just out of respect for City and the fans.
Yeah, I agree. Better to say it now than softer than somewhere. Yeah, I know what you mean, Steve, but either way, it's going to hurt. I mean, it's going to hurt either way. But let's talk about the actual positive, right? The Kevin De Bruyne performance itself, right? I mean, the goal is that the free kick itself wasn't the cleanest free kick I've ever seen from him. I've seen better from him, but it was a big moment, a big part of the game. And without that moment, we're about the game. But the way he played after that was like the Kev of old, that game. Now, is it
Unnamed
happening
player
again?
in his unnamed player in his 30s has just got a yellow card.
Oh, right, yeah, that unnamed player. Okay, fair enough. That's what I'm worried about, though. I hope they haven't done that. I haven't done that. It'll be a real shame. I hope we haven't. I hope that's all bollocks. But we'll see what happens.
Again, it all depends on where he wants to end up. I can't see him going to anywhere in the Premier League because I couldn't think of anywhere in the Premier League that would be able to offer him the amount of money. Because even 150k a week is still quite a lot of money in terms of wages. You know, like that's not cheap for a 34-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree on that. And you know,
Because is he going to go? Is he going to go to like a West Ham or an Everton or a Palace? Or realistically, no, because they'll offer him 100k a week max. He'll go to the MLS or Saudi and pick up 200-300k a week, no problem.
exactly as well, Steve. Exactly.
I don't think Liverpool would want him. I'm going to be honest.
No, why would they? What, for a year? That's it. Like, it's a waste of time for them, really. They don't need him. They've got
Yeah.
Szoboszlai, they've got McAllister. They're younger. I'm not saying they're better, but they're younger. Why would someone else to be? For me, it's not. You know, I wouldn't do it myself personally, but yeah, I know it's down to what Liverpool do. But the goal itself, obviously, was a big goal in the moment. But then the second goal. Now, Amar Mamouche, right, if that's been criticised for weird reasons, right, I don't know why, but 7 goals, by the way, for a City team, right, that have been so poor. See, 7 goals. What a player he's been.
Omar Mamouche has more G&A this season than Mbappe in a lot less games as well, by him.
Yeah. Exactly. And but do you know what happened though, mate? Ballon d'Or, if it's hard them.
Yeah.
I swear they do that. Honestly. Because Mbappe, right, has got, what is it, 33, 34 goals this year, which is fair enough, but what's it? But at the moment, mate, Barcelona about to win the league. Madrid about to go to the league right now. PSG are going to go further than him in the Champions League. PSG.
Well, Real Madrid are 2 minutes away from being knocked out. They're not scoring 3 goals in 2 minutes, so they're done.
If it was 2-1 right now, even not going to happen. But like they need 3 goals in a matter of time. That isn't going to happen.
No, they need 3 goals in 2 minutes. Even with 6 minutes added on, they're not doing that.
Exactly. And Steve, exactly. Mamouche revelation better. Exactly, Steve. Mamouche is better serve as well as Haaland. And also, by the way, positive in Haaland. He's back today. Is it doing? She's doing well, not
training,
pitch,
yeah.
but yeah. So I imagine he'll back soon, which is good. We're positive to see him back running again. But yeah, he's been a revelation, and I think with better service, it's going to be great to see him with a better team around him. I look forward to seeing it. Fresh stuff for Arsenal because, yeah, I know, but Arsenal deserve to win. It's been absolutely terrible. I think we can all agree, right, that if we were playing anywhere near the level of last season, I'm not saying that's much better, but probably would Madrid in both games. Madrid are terrible. They're absolutely shocking. I'm sorry, like you say what you want about Spurs, they've been nowhere near the level this season. Nowhere near the levels of previous years. And I just think it's not a surprise at all to see where they are. So for me, Arsenal deserve to be big headed tonight. Like, obviously, obviously it's the same final. It's not a final, so they've actually got to go and win the whole thing now. But Arsenal deserve it, mate, because at the end of the day, Madrid have been shocking. Arsenal, look, hate them or love them, Arsenal have done the job. Like they did. Can't say they haven't. We drew 1-1 at the Bernabeu and go on for what? 1-4 now. We did even better than they did. this is the thing. They did the job. I know Bevo ain't gonna agree with that because I hate Arsenal. I respect that. Respect that. If going off results based, they did the job. So I know you're gonna, but I know you're not gonna say agree with me there. That's fine.
I ain't giving no credit to him. I despise him. I despise the fan base. I despise the club. I despise the players. I despise everything that there is to despise about Arsenal. And it's not because they're relevant, because they're not. Because they've won nothing. But you've got all of these Arsenal fans now that have got CL winners 25 on the back of their shirt. Are you joking me? Well, are you seriously joking me? You've just spent the best part of £100 on a football shirt to get that crap on the back of it.
If you win the bloody thing, fine, but
they're inevitable. They are such a reactionary fan base. They are the biggest reactionary fan base I've ever seen in my life. They're so entitled and they've won nothing. They've won nothing. What have they got? What have they got to their name? Oh, Rice is better than Rodri. In what sense is Rice ever better than Rodri? Because he scored a few decent free kicks against Real Madrid the week before. They forced themselves into wanting to be compared to the best, and they're not. They're not the best.
But on a different note, what's hilarious though, Kylian Mbappe left PSG to go to Real Madrid to get his big move.
Yeah.
Further than so Mbappe, hold that. Big up PSG.
And he proper shafted them as well. Like he left on a free so he could get all of the signing on.
Facts. We were dumb.
Yeah.
Last year we weren't perfect, by the way, but we were way better than this. Savardio was good. Rodri was good. Hart was good every now and again. So Antonio was well. So was KDB.
I never want to see Claudio playing left back ever again.
No.
Him and Diaz in that partnership have been unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, Arsenal scored a winner.
I'm glad I turned it off.
Martinelli.
I'm glad I turned it off.
Yeah. Right, guys, who's at the door? Mate, we'll say end of the season on who. I think for me though, Bernardo Silva's out the door. That's gonna happen, I reckon. Out the door already. Apart from that, I don't know yet. But just about the fact that Bernardo Silva's out the door,
I can probably tell you now that Ederson's probably out of the door. Ortega's out of the door. Kyle Walker's out of the door. Grealish is out of the door. Bernardo Silva's out of the door. Either Nunes, Kovacic, or Gundogan. One of them. And I know Gundogan's extended his contract for one more season. Whatever. But one of them will be out of the door. It wouldn't surprise me if you saw a bit of a shock name out of the door. Oh, McAtee's out of the door. It wouldn't surprise me if you see a bit of a shock name go out of the door. Someone like a Doku or someone like that. I can see someone like that go. Basically, in the summer, we're going to need 2 goalkeepers, maybe even 3 if Carson leaves, which he's going to. So you can promote a young goalkeeper up, like Spike or whoever from the academy or whatever to be your third choice. But you're going to have to bring in 2 new goalkeepers. We're going to need a right back. We're going to need a left back. We're going to need a creative midfielder to replace Kevin De Bruyne. We're probably going to need another number 8 because I don't think the number 8s that we've got are good enough. we're probably going to need a winger. So I can see probably 7 or 8 out of the door and 7 or 8 in.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it's probably a fair.
Which I think is the reason. Well, it's not. I don't think it's the reason. I know it's the reason why Cheeky's extended for another month and a half. Because buying and selling a combined 16 players, roughly, that would be far too much for Viana to do on his own. Far too much.
Oh yeah, I agree. Fair enough. Yeah, PSG, by the way, stuff Arsenal. They will. I think if PSG, I think it's all about don't over. I think Arsenal for me can defend. They can defend. Credit where it's due. Better than most teams, but if PSG can get the goals in at their place at the Emirates, they have every chance of going through. But
can I just mute you when you're talking about Arsenal?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But Steve, facts. It's why we don't do it. Apart from Haaland, apart from some players, City never ever really buy the big names.
I want that PSG winger. He is unbelievable.
Which one? What Cavadonna?
Do
Or do I?
Is that how you say it?
I'll do it. I like Varaskelia. That's my boy. But I don't like Due though.
Due is unbelievable for his age because I think he's only about 16, 17.
He's 18, I think.
I mean, I wasn't far off.
Stone Zarake.
I'd keep Ake.
Yeah, I'm keeping Ake. Just I think Stones to me, the injuries are just not. I've gone to him now. It's a shame. I think Ake's fine. I think one more year, maybe 2 more years, but Stones, I mean, nothing young. I'm actually Alpha already. I'm on that. Bernardo swap with Trubin, Benfica. Bernardo swap with a keeper. I'd rather just sell Bernardo Silva personally. But I mean, I wouldn't mind a swap with a goalkeeper.
I just get rid.
Yeah. Diaz, I keep. I would keep Diaz.
Yeah, I keep.
I would.
Well, he's captain, isn't he?
He's captain. He's captain on the Kev goes. What Muffin? Yeah, what Muffin is it third choice keeper probably?
Yeah. We've got a few young goalkeepers that are good. You know, you've got Watmouth, you've got Watmouth, you've got that Spike Brett. You know, we've got some really good goalkeepers.
Yeah. Big up Alpha the Ray, by the way. I've just raised just now anyway. So big up for that. There's okay. Bringing Gahey. I like Gahey, but I don't know whether he's someone that I don't know. Would you have Gahey? City.
For me, I'd prefer Branthwaite.
Yeah, but that's what I'll go. But I'll go with Branthwaite instead of Gahey. But Gahey's a good player, but I'm not saying I like Gahey. I think he does a good job. And as well, I know tonight lost 5-0 tonight, but that's Newcastle compared to us. Newcastle, I think better.
I think for me, I think Branthwaite is more suited to our style of play.
Yeah.
He's younger, and he'll probably be about the same price.
Yeah. Keeper Kanji.
Get rid.
I'd sell. Big up ball with this. Yep, Alpha Ray. Big up Alpha as always. Legend. Absolute from the channel. He can play right back, but I think we need someone better, mate, long term. Kanji's done a job. He's done a good job for us for the 2 or 3 years.
This is the other thing. I said to you off air yesterday when we had a call. I think we need 2 right backs personally.
Yeah.
Because if we're looking at Cambiasso, who would be perfect, he's also very injury prone, and inevitably, if you come into play for Man City, you're gonna get injured pretty quick. So the thing is, if our new right back picks up an injury and is out for 6 to 8 weeks, we have nobody to cover because we literally have no fullbacks at the club right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I don't want to hear this. Rico Lewis can play there for 6 to 8 weeks. No, Rico Lewis shouldn't be anywhere near right back. Just the same as Nunes shouldn't be anywhere near right back. He's had a few good games there, but he still shouldn't be anywhere near right back.
Oh, facts, yeah. Big up that Silt, big up Roaster, Alfred, Brantford, injury prone. I know I get the worry about that. I do, because I think Brantford is a good player, but I just look, the end of the day, right, no matter what you do, right, you're always gonna bloody get someone who can get injury prone. It's football; it can happen to anyone. It can. Let's not pretend it doesn't happen to any player at any given point. What we got to do is at least give anyone, give something like that, because it works better for us here. You used to Madrid, yeah. Well, mate, stop on that. Madrid have been shite all season, mate. They have been. And that's a code for me anyway, didn't they? Anyway, so fuck Madrid. I know Arsenal through Arsenal, but Madrid as well. Yeah. So Wan-Bissaka, I don't know. I like him, but I've felt him as a player over there. Rico, I don't know, not right about mate. Homegrown, it does, bro. It does, man. Yeah, 100% it does. We definitely need homegrown players in that. While you staying one BBP now. AW is sort of right back, happy with being on the bench. Wan-Bissaka, no, not for me. Maybe a couple of years ago, where it was at Palace, but not anymore for me. I know Alf, that's your opinion, mate, but I'm just not. It was Palace Wan-Bissaka. I'm fine with that. Not the one we've seen recently. We can't afford to exactly see. We can't. This has been to see injuries but right. Has there been a worse season for City, mate? Injuries, has there? Genuinely, recently.
Not to the extent that we've seen this season with so many crucial players. The problem is, right, whenever we've had injuries in the past, we've always had sufficient cover. So, like, if Fernandinho got injured, we had Rodri. You know, if you know, I don't know, if another centre back got injured, it was all right because we had Stones or Ake or or Diaz or whoever to come in. The problem that we've got this season is the players that we've got to come in aren't good enough to fill the positions that we're asking them to play for a long period of time. We sacrificed Kyle Walker and sent him out the door. Fine, I'm happy with that, but we had no right back at the club. Now, if we're sending out, and this is another thing which makes me think about the whole Kevin De Bruyne thing. So
yeah.
We allowed Kyle Walker to leave the club and we didn't bring in a right back. Are we going to allow Kevin De Bruyne to leave the club and not bring in a sufficient replacement for him? Because we've seen the club already do that with players like Kyle Walker, with players like not replacing Aguero. Fortunately, we were able to play the false nine really, really well. But yeah, you say Kyle Walker's coming back, he'll never play for City again. That's done with.
100%.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
That's cool. Pep always said he can't do a season with injury prone, but yeah, exactly, Batman. He can't, and we can't do that anymore. We can't. But we need to make sure exactly. This summer is important for players that we do get in. It has to be the right player. It has to be the players that are on it. So injury prone, it needs to be perfect and correct. We'll dunk it out. Yeah, to be honest, I did say, I think Inter Milan are a much more structurally a better team. I think Bayern just haven't got the overall squad this year. I think Kane, once again, well, obviously he went to play Bundesliga, so it doesn't actually matter really, but it kind of shows that Bayern, for me, were never the team I thought they would win anyway. I know we're shit as well. I'm just saying Bayern won't be that team either. I'm sure you've seen it yourself as well. Bayern haven't been that team this season anyway. Another Madrid. Another the big team. PSG, Arsenal, Bayern's probably the four teams I'd say are right there right now. Liverpool aren't that good either. And Arsenal have got this far is surprising themselves, but yeah. So letting Kevin go to City have Wirtz in the back. You think so, wouldn't you? You think so, but we'll see what happens to that front. What did later in the game? He probably does, doesn't he? Knowing Walker and Kyle. I want Gyökeres and Kane to get F off. Yeah, Gyökeres is a better player than Harry Kane. Well, that's what I should say, but Kane's one of them players that doesn't step up in big games, is he? So we copped up. We could have won it. Steve, we could have done Steve, but that's though. The club may have fought for that, and the club had to hold that. And this was all about getting ourselves back to that level again. So it's all about this summer's huge. Now, obviously, all visual rest of the game, obviously, City 5-2. It was a good performance, but I think we all know that players that stepped up. Obviously, Nico Rice steps up. McAtee got obviously a good goal from Ederson, assist and that, but then also got injured again, which is a pain in the arse. Like it's just can't see that. No, I think can't seem to get a good result and then no injuries afterwards. Always have to be an injury after getting a win. It's a fucking nightmare, honestly. I wish just get a victory without getting another injury afterwards. It's so annoying, but that's for the season in a nutshell. I just can't never ending injuries at the moment. Just constant injuries of no way of stopping them. See, they've won the Champions League without having AC. Yeah, we never were. I never thought we could do anyway, but I think it was it was kind of just Nico Gonzalez looks good, but Nico needed a couple of years of experience at a level before he became trusted enough to be a DM in the Champions League winning team. He wasn't ready for it right now, but he's definitely going to be there in a few years. So the midfielder will definitely 100%. That's the priority right now, and also fullbacks as well need to be sorted as well. That's needs to be a priority. Also, what I'm going to do is get the redirect as well, the stream for Martin's stream. I mean, Martin's going live in a bit on Mancunian Way to do a Martin Talk episode, which obviously big up to Martin as well. I'll get the stream up so as soon as we're done here, we can get over to him. If you haven't already people, leave like we have already on the road to 1.1k. Obviously, the 2k, the long term 1.1k is the next target for us at the moment. Obviously, we're enjoying the new people that are coming over from different channels, obviously, and sort of joining in in the chat. We do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing what's to come. Obviously, this channel, obviously, our other channels as well. Chat pod coming soon, which obviously we're very excited to do. Link in the description if you haven't already seen. See what we've got planned. A lot to come very soon. But yeah, it's obviously I've seen Arsenal obviously beat me 2-1. Arsenal are better than Madrid right now. Isn't difficult to be right now? I just think it's going to be it's still going to be a PSG Barcelona final or into Arsenal final for me. We'll be into PSG or whatever. It's going to be one or the other. But we'll see what happens. Right, can I get the stream sorted out? Hold on, just trying to get this sorted. It's really slow today. Right, let's read it. Right, there we go. Right, it's going live now anyway, but it's pretty ready to go. See if we're done here. Cool. Right, awesome. That's all set. We're done here. Right, anyway, we're back in a little bit. We'll just look at the comments for a bit. Nico Nummy's no more. Exactly, yeah. I'll try to say trying to go. Yeah, no worries, Steve. We're not on for that long, but we're just going to sort of just finish it off a little bit before when it's back, we'll see it in the stream and sort of get over to Martin's channel after we're done here. So we're just going to round it off a little bit now. But I'll show about the Palace game before we end it. I mean, I thought the result was obviously pretty good. I think the fact that it was a big result and a much needed result, because I think if we had lost that game, I think that would have been our Champions League hopes kind of not necessarily done with, but it would have definitely been in future. No worries, mate. Also, always appreciate the support, mate. Whatever you give it, massively appreciate. So, coach staff need a yeah, 100%, mate. I think we definitely need to have a better person than Lilo in the management team. It needs to be a whole reset, mate. Whole reset. It did. That result for me was a big one, because if we had lost that, I think that would have been a massive blow to our hopes. I think we count ourselves lucky that I think we actually sort of found that character in the end. But we can't do that every game. We have to find a way of winning games consistently. I'm sure we will. But we've got to take this result as a warning. We can't just rely on Remontada season to get us top four. We need to be winning games, getting results. not having to come back every time from 1 or 2 goals down to do it. So yeah, hopefully we do that. I mean, obviously, before we end up, Bev, we'll talk about the. I'm just talking about the overall game itself before we obviously end the stream a bit. I think for me, like, it was important character to obviously turn it around when we did. But as I said just now, we can't afford to do that every game. We have to start winning games on our own terms.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I think. Pardon?
You're muted, I think. Hold on.
I'm not muted.
Me. It's me. Don't worry. I'm a moron. Carry on.
All right. Okay. I was just saying. I think this group of players have shown character for the last 4 or 5 years. We know how to turn it around. What I question is the hunger of the players. I think Phil. I said to you off air the other day. I think Phil Foden mentioned it in one of his interviews where he said, "If we end up winning the FA Cup this year, I will never, I'll never I'll never just, you know, I'll respect everything that we win. You know, I'll never take it for granted," is what I'm trying to say. And he said that, you know, I think the hunger's been a big thing this season. And I think that, I genuinely think that that's been true, because if you look at a lot of the games that we've won, we've either lost or drawn this season, we've been ahead and then ended up drawing or losing. You know, you only have to look at it, like, I think the Sporting game, I think we were ahead at one point. PSG game, we were winning that at one point. I think, well, electrocute me then, Mateus, because I think he's probably one of the best right backs in Italian football. So electrocute me, whatever. But yeah, I just think overall, like, the hunger hasn't been there for a lot of the players this season. And that has shown quite a lot this season. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think a revamp is definitely needed to bring in these players that are hungry to go and win stuff, because we've got the privilege of having the finances to bring these players in. We've got the privilege of having the best manager in world football. We've got the privilege of having some of the best players in world football playing for the club. Yeah. It's not a case of having to knock down the entire thing and start again. We just need to replace a few bricks, and I think we'll be ready to go again next season.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, we're Everton was on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Now, that's another difficult game. Everton have been playing well under Moyes. Obviously, they're probably one of the better teams, I think. You know, I think, you know, they'll be, especially being one of the last home games as well at Goodison. They're going to be up for it. So we've got to make sure that we get over the line. I'm sure we will. But yeah, you know, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we do. And Joe, what, Steve? That's what I want as well. I know it's a win. I'm not asking for perfection. I just want us to get some wins on the board. Just keep winning, and then hopefully we get a bit of luck regarding injuries. We get some players back. We stop getting unlucky in that regard. Like, we get a little bit of momentum. We get Haaland back. We can get back Ake back maybe as well. Ake back in the season. Rodri back as well. We start getting a bit more of the older squad of last season into the first team again. Going to FA Cup final, obviously, in May. Hopefully we get there. So it's all about ending the season strong. That's what it is. And if we can do that, brilliant. and then in the summer begin fully the rebuild, it done. Players out, players in. Don't get who has to go at this point. I think whatever's right for the team is right for the team. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think it's been a good sort of a hour and 4 minute sort of chat there about everything. I think I've done quite a bit to sort of, all the news covered, all the stuff covered, obviously, in one night, which is good. Obviously, I know we used to do more streams, but it's been pretty quiet on the City front, isn't it, the past few days and now, obviously, apart from the game. It's been...
Sometimes life gets in the way as well,
Yeah. It does. Trust me, we'll do when there's more news to talk about. Look, trust me, when the 115 does eventually happen, we'll be there. We'll be there. Trust me, it's going to happen. Yeah, I know, right? Shock horror. Look, I'm sure some will come out at some point, Alf. They'll come out at some point, but we've got, unfortunately, we've had things going on in life, and now obviously I turn 25 in 2 weeks' time, so big birthday, obviously, Mrs. birthday as well. It's this weekend, so a lot going on. So, safe to say, I'll be in where I can.
Is it birthday this weekend? Is it?
On Monday, I think. Yeah, Monday. She's 24.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday for Monday, Poppy. If you're still in the chat.
Yeah, big up Poppy. And I'm sure she probably is, but probably just chilling now, probably. Always, you say a pleasure. I know you mean well, Steve. Big up to you as always. Big up Matt. I know it's Snow Boys chat, obviously before Snow Boy before they finish anyway. I know it's in Martin's chat as well. Big up to you, mate, as always, for tuning in. And to anyone else, obviously, who's been tuning in with us for the last hour and 40 minutes as well. Just because you're 21, Alf, 22, whatever you are, doesn't mean you're probably old. Yes, Steve. Yes, she is. She is my other half. Just often now and again appears in the streams whenever she's around. But she's very supportive. She's actually getting some merchandise sorted out for the channel. I'll share Beva's about this as well after the stream. But she's been designing some of it herself. So hopefully within the next season we'll have some new merchandise to probably bring to you. Can't say but certainly. Yeah, I know, right? Bless her. I can't believe she's but I think Bevo's just frozen, I think, unless he's still there. Bevo. It's fine. I can always just end the stream myself if need be. I'm turn 23 in June. I'm going to have to stop thinking about it. Yeah, you're going to have to, mate. We are at some point, mate, unfortunately. Sadly. But big up the chat as always. Yeah, he's gone. I'll end the stream myself then. Big up the chat as always for tuning in. Big up Alf for the raid as well. The stream will then redirect over to Martin's stream right now. So obviously go over there and give a lot of love as well. He's obviously going to tonight and also tomorrow. Well, big up Tim as always. Big up the chat. Big up obviously everyone supporting the channel as always. We do appreciate it. I know we've done a lot of stuff recently, but there'll be more coming soon. Just a lot going on right now, obviously. But as soon as we get a little bit of time to do viewing streams, we will. To everyone, have a great rest of your well. Enjoy Champions League games, and we'll see you guys again on the stream every other weekend. There, guys. Have a great rest of your week.